quorum.
All right. I guess we'll call the order then. So we'll start off with the agenda approval meeting minutes. Um, I I don't know if I saw any in the invite. Mark, I think I saw a late invite from or a late email from you today or something for some special ones. But what do we have in this category?
Yeah, so Elizabeth provided us with the special meeting minutes from March 19th and the regular meeting minutes from February 26th. So there's two sets of meetings, and I did send those out this afternoon.
All right. I know I have personally not looked at them, but I'll let anyone ask any questions if they have them on them.
I haven't looked either.
Do you want to just wait till next time to approve them then, or do you want to spend a couple minutes looking through them right now?
Well, Elizabeth, you're away next month, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so we would not have a quorum, so we couldn't approve the minutes at the next meeting. So I don't know if people want to take a couple of minutes to do it now, or we would have to wait until May.
Yeah, I'm fine. Why don't we just give us 2 minutes or something? We'll look through them. I'll open it now. So just give me a couple minutes, and then Jim, you want to do the same thing?
Okay.
Okay.
What time did you send them, Mark?
Oh, well, give me a minute here. I sent them at 1:09.
Today, huh? Huh. Oh, let's see. No.
And then I sent you and Elizabeth a follow-up email with the blank document for tonight's minutes. Because I wasn't sure who was doing minutes, but Elizabeth
Oh,
said
yeah,
that she would.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
All right. I look through them. I have no questions, Jim. When take your time. When you're ready, you can, tell us.
Let me look here. Right, 60, 55, 48, 50, 55. Yeah. Fine with the March 19th ones.
Well, we'll have to have two separate
Yeah,
motions.
see that one.
One
Yeah, no.
for
No,
each set of
meeting.
minutes.
Yeah, and it's special meeting. Yes, no. What was the one on this is the 19th or the February 26th meeting? where
was our
it's,
regular meeting.
yeah. That one that says Mr. DeFranco asked for follow-up on high-value items identified in the meeting.
Yes.
What were those, Mike?
Mike, you're muted.
Sorry, what'd you guys say?
Oh, there were in the February 26th meetings, there is item 3E. This is the special meeting with the Golf Advisory Board. Mr. Franco asked for a follow-up on high-value items identified in the meeting. Mr. Berry will review these items, determine the person best suited to address each one, and report back to the commission. So that's 2 months ago. Well, that's a month ago, I guess. Are we okay
Exactly.
with those?
Yeah.
Mark, I know you put something in tonight's meeting, so I figured you were going to talk to him tonight. Is that a good assumption? I don't know if you're on mute, Mark, but I think Jim's question is, we have them, are we refining them? Are you giving us an update? Are we getting them now, next time? I think that's the question on the table, and Jim, rephrase if you feel like it, or you think I'm wrong.
No, I was just reading, yeah, from the minutes. Did we lose Mark?
Well, that's what I'm wondering, because it looks, yep. I don't know if he's having a computer problem.
Wait for him to get back in, I suppose.
Yep.
Hmm.
Mark, are you back on? I see him as a
Yeah, so do I.
Hey, Ben, do you know are you with Mark? I don't know if you guys are in the same room or just are separate or. Are you on, Ben?
He's at home, so we're separate.
Could you give him a call on his cell, Ben?
Yeah, let me see if I can get a hold of him.
All right, I'm back. Sorry.
Right.
I got a message. It said low bandwidth, and all of a sudden I got dropped. So sorry about that.
So So Mark, I think the question that Jim he was reviewing the minutes, he had a question that was to kind of high level summarize. There was I think the last meeting, there was a thing that, a statement in there I'd asked about the high value golf actions, and I saw a list tonight. So the question I assume was that you were going to go over that list and give us some type of update or discuss it or something on the agenda tonight. I think that was the question on the table from Jim.
Yes, that is correct. That's why those action items were included in the packet.
Okay, then I'm good.
All right. I think so. I think the first meeting minutes is the 2/26. Is that correct, Elizabeth?
2/26, correct.
All right. So I'll make a motion to approve the 2/26 minutes.
I'll
Okay.
second.
Thank you.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. All right. We'll go to
We're
the
good.
March minutes for the special meeting then. I don't know the date, but
Yeah, 19th, yep.
the 19th, I'll make a motion to approve those minutes.
I'll second.
Thank
All
you.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. I think we're
Before
caught up
we
with
leave-
minutes.
Excuse me, Mike, before we leave minutes, I want to share with you something I learned at that mandatory training with Attorney Kelly. And that is if we have a meeting and we don't have a quorum, we still need to produce minutes. Because it documents that the commission met as scheduled, but was unable to conduct business because it didn't have a quorum. So
Right.
it's just something to tuck away to make sure that if there's a meeting without a quorum, that a set of minutes are produced.
All right.
Good to know. All right. We will move to the citizens petitions and comments. Mark, we'll have you go first.
Yeah, I don't really have anything outstanding as far as citizens petitions and comments.
Okay, other commissioners?
None from
Nothing.
me.
All right. I think the only thing I've gotten a couple people that have contacted me talking a little about the athletic field. So when we get down to that section, I'll kind of share some of the like the thoughts, but we'll wait until we get to that section. Town council referrals, Mark?
Uh-oh.
It's a town council referral. If people want to discuss that now or wait till they get to it under unfinished business.
Oh, you mean about District 4?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why don't we wait until
Okay,
we
is that
get
the
down?
only one, Mark?
What's that?
That's the only one, just a District 4 one?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we'll wait. I think that's good. I agree with Elizabeth. Correspondence communications, I think that's the same thing, in my opinion, is comments, but anyone on there?
No.
All right, Director of Parks, Mark, so you had the director's report. Anything you want to bring up, highlight for any of us?
Other than the work at replacing the playground at Farquhar Park they started about a week ago, and that's coming together nicely. And we have heard that the work is supposed to begin within the next week or two for the pickleball courts.
The ones
And
on the
what-
library
Yes.
campus? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and the athletic fields are opening up in the next couple of days, and we're trying to finish up a project to get the safety netting on the two playing fields at Paquonic Plains Park. We've dug the holes. The problem is it keeps raining every third day, and the water table is so high there that the water's coming into the holes, and we need like 3 or 4 dry days where we can actually get in and pour the cement and for the bases for the fences.
All right, we'll move to golf course then.
Yeah, so last night, went in front of the council. The rates were set after about an hour and a half discussion.
Oh, man.
They had made some proposed changes. Um, They wanted to change some of the non-resident rates. There was a proposal to reduce the resident rates a little bit more. And there was also a proposal to change the age category of youth. It had previously been under 18, and that one part of the council recommendation did move forward. And so youth have changed from 21 and under, and associate has gone from 22 to 25 rather than 19 to 25. And that took place both on the season passes side and the greens fee side. And that was the only change that took place after an hour and a half discussion.
So that was it, just the status change of the youth, but they didn't change the fees for the residents?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, so really that's the only thing, that there was no rate changes, Mark, just discussion of them.
Yeah.
Was that what I heard?
Right. Yes, there was a discussion about it, but no actual rate changes.
Got it. Okay, and I assume that now opens up ability for people to buy season passes, because I know we had a halt on them.
Yes, we do. So the way the process works is the council makes a motion to, well, in last night's case, to approve the rate change, the rates that were presented to them. Now, at the next council meeting, they vote again to approve what they previously approved. So we have to wait until, I think, Tuesday of next week before we can officially change the rates. And historically, we've always changed the rates around April 1st. So this year, I think it will be April 3rd that the rates will change. And we are going to post on the, we haven't done it yet, but we are going to post on the Shinnecock webpage that the rates are going up effective. Well, it would be probably next Wednesday morning, because the council meets Tuesday night. And we're also putting up a sign in the pro shop. And it won't take long for word of mouth to get around. The other golf course news is I expect we'll be making a decision about the software this Friday. I got the tally sheets back from the interview panel, and have just a couple more questions. We've narrowed it down to two vendors, and I've got one more question to ask each one, and then we'll be making a decision. And the
And that'll take
implementation
Yep.
is about 4 to 6 weeks. So it'll be mid-May before we're up and running with the new system.
Perfect. And I'm sure when we do the golf course visiting this year, Mark, or when we do one of them, that'll be good for us to get a demo of that system. Once, when that meeting comes about later in the year.
Okay.
Questions from anyone on that, what Mark just told us?
Nope.
All right, we'll go to Trails Coordinating Task Force then.
So the Trails Coordinating Task Force met last week. Primarily the discussion was about National Trails Day, which is coming up. It's the first Saturday in June. And the different organizations shared what hikes they had registered with the state of Connecticut. So you can go to the, I think it's the DEP website, and they have a listing of all the different hikes that are being arranged. And Groton Parks and Recreation is partnering with Groton Open Space, and Groton Open Space will be leading a hike from Bluff Point to Land's End. It's a contiguous trail that goes through a number of different parcels, including the town, Groton Open Space, and Avalonia. And we're going to be providing transportation back to Bluff Point. So the hikers will start at Bluff Point, hike all the way over to Land's End, which is on Route 215, and there'll be a bus there to provide transportation back to Bluff Point. And this is something that we used to do with GOSA pre-COVID, but we hadn't done it since, but we're doing it again, and it's usually very well attended.
Thank you. Athletic fields, Mark?
The update there is the Board of Ed, Chad Frost from Kenton Frost presented to the Board of Ed the full set of plans to build out the high school, Clodchester, and Sutton Park. He made that presentation 2 weeks ago, was invited back again, I think Monday night of this week. And the Board of Ed voted to approve the entire proposal. So not just focusing on the high school, but also the other two locations. Tonight, the town council is having its public hearing on the upcoming budget. So it's an opportunity for folks residents to speak on behalf of what they would like to see supported in the next budget. And I know that the president of Groton Youth Soccer sent an email out encouraging people to show up to the meeting tonight to speak on behalf of the full support of the project, because the council at this point is looking at kind of scaling the project back, and I think doing it in pieces. And so we'll have to see. But tonight is the opportunity for the public to be heard specifically about the budget. And then I think budget deliberations begin, I think maybe tomorrow night with the council. The presentations from all the different departments begins tomorrow night. The Parks and Recreation Department and the golf course presentation is next Monday night. And yeah, I think that's it for athletic fields.
All right. I'll open up any questions from commissioners.
I have none.
So I'll give a little flavor too. So I got a couple people that had contacted me about the fields, kind of what's going on, what's the process, what meetings should they go to. So just kind of want to understand what's going on. A lot of like sports team, I'll say captains or coaches, right? They were expressing that, like they wanted to get more, all positive support. The only one piece of feedback I got basically was it didn't sound like the plan had enough baseball/softball fields in it to meet the town's needs. That was one thing that like kind of some feedback I got. I don't know, Mark, if that's true or not. I don't know if you can speak to that.
Yeah, so I mean, during this whole process, Kenton Frost has been in close contact with, the youth league administrators, and the proposal that was put together met the needs of the current program size. In fact, they even added into the proposal at Clodchester on one of the synthetic fields, they added the lines for a baseball field. So, that was kind of a last minute addition. But the proposal that they've put forward meets the needs of softball and baseball in Groton.
Okay, thank you. And the only other thing I'll share, and Mark, kind of I shared with you, but with the commissioner. So, I had met with I guess it's like the director of sports at Groton, because there's a land behind that's kind of unused today. So I said, hey, I think where my head was going is that, if we're going to spend all this money on the Sutton fields, but didn't meet the need, or, why would we not want to leave them and build more behind them? They're not the best, but what's going on? So kind of got feedback that they have not a build constructional plan, but they've had discussions of putting 2 additional fields over there for their use. And it will be state funded because Grouse Tech's a state school. So I thought that was a good news story. I am going to go try to lobby to our kind of local state representatives to see if we can get that funding this year for them, and put some stipulations of, hey, basically when the school gets first dibs, but when the school's not using it, it's open to the public or sports teams. Sounds today like they're a little not as amicable to having the public use their fields, even though it's state taxpayer dollars that we all paid for to fund them. So kind of just everyone knows there's potential to get some more fields in the town, even though they're not directly owned by the town or taken care of by us, but are assets of taxpayers.
Mike, in your discussions with Grosso, did you get a sense that they are more receptive to sharing space? Because I had heard that about their being protective of their fields up until now.
I got that they not that they're 100% no, but they're more like they're a little too protective, in my opinion, for fields that are paid for by our tax dollars. So I'll be frank with you. I kind of got that they are amicable if you show some insurance, and maybe if we feel like letting you use it, and kind of like you got to jump through all these hoops, which to me I thought was kind of, to be honest with you, a bunch of BS for money that we all pay into, right? I thought that was a crock. I understand that they need to prep fields for events and use them for them first for events. 100% on board with that, right? That's what they're built for. But they are state and taxpayer assets, in my opinion, and therefore should be used as such. So I'm going to lobby with our state representatives that the funding hopefully goes through. I don't know if it will or not, but when it does, they come with a stipulation that it must be accessible to the public, and that's part of the funding that comes along with it. So I'm going to push for that. I don't know what will happen. Be that.
Sure. Thanks.
All right, we'll move on to the District 4 parks and open space. And I don't know, I know there was a report that went out, so maybe, I know Elizabeth, you had asked on this, so Mark or Elizabeth, I guess I'll let one of you take it away.
All right, Elizabeth, you want to kind of summarize the report, and then I can share with everybody one of the items that we're trying to address that was a recommendation.
Yeah, just quickly, I'll go over the key findings. The issue is that with the closure of a couple of schools, the district lost all park and playground access. There is one school still open, Charles Barnum, which does have some facilities, but they are, how should I say, they've been used a lot. They're heavily, and they're not very accessible. The key findings then are that Navy recreation facilities are available to residents of the Navy base, but not open to other people. And that's one of the things people kind of trip over. I'm sorry, I wasn't quite ready to talk about this. They identified Farquhar Park as being an option, Nautilus Overlook, Windward Passage, and Woods Walk. They suggested considering more paths and trails adjacent to Route 12. Pleasant Valley School site is potential for a parks and trail. Mary Morrison School, the same thing, that's one of the ones that closed. And to Charles Barnum has potential for more parks. And Gudgewamp, the same thing. So, and then the other areas I think are addressed in what Mark had sent out today.
So one of the areas that they've identified, and it's an existing park, is Wynwood Passage in District 4. And we have in the capital improvement plan for FYE 26, we put in $100,000 to make improvements to that park. And those improvements would include a sign. Currently, there's no sign. A path down to the playground. So the playground sits down lower than street level, and so it's difficult to see. So putting in a sign, putting in a gravel path. We've also proposed to put in some new equipment down there and provide some additional screening. So the park is located between two houses. So part of the proposed project is to put, like I said, screening between the houses just to give them a little bit more privacy. And I think that was a park that when we did the master plan and the level of service analysis, the level of service analysis score for that particular park was I believe it was a 1, so it was a below average. So we'll see if the council funds that particular project this go round. The town manager did not cut it. He's already looked at the proposed capital improvement projects, and that was one that he did not recommend cutting. So that's a good sign, but there's 2 more steps to this. We've got town council and the RTM. And as I mentioned earlier, we're already making improvements to Farquhar. We're replacing the playground. We're also creating some dedicated handicap parking spots at Farquhar. Right now, there are not any dedicated handicap parking spots. Excuse me. And we are putting in a paved path from the 2 dedicated parking spots, connecting to the playground, and then continuing on to the basketball courts. So, it will increase accessibility for those that are mobility challenged. And the other part of the project at Farquhar is we're replacing it. Previously, it was wood chips, and we're replacing it with poured in place, which has a higher level of accessibility.
Now, I think of Farquhar as being on the way to Ledyard and Gales Ferry. Am I right?
Yeah,
That
it is.
location?
Yeah, but that, I think, it's kind of like right at the edge of District 4.
Yeah.
And we are also making improvements to the Kopp Family Park, to the trails there. That was a recreation trails grant that we got. And that's right at the edge of District 4 also.
Yeah, the problem is that in order to get to them, people
Yep.
who live west of Route 12, there's just no safe way to walk there, either
Right.
one.
Right, yep.
That's the
And
problem.
there is another parcel, it's on North Gunjewamp Road. I can't think of it. It's an open space parcel that was recently turned over to the town. And there are plans to add some more hiking trails, but again, it's on the wrong side of Route 12. But I do know that I believe that once the project at the former school in the city, I can't think of the name of the school.
I know the one you mean, yeah, up near the library.
Yes. I know they've interviewed a couple of developers with projects, and I think both of those projects include a public component to make some space available. And I think after that, they would move on to move on to Pleasant Valley School.
That's one of the questions I had was, do you have any insight as to what they're doing with that Pleasant Valley site?
Yeah, I think they're waiting to complete the, I can't think of the name of that other school. I think they're
Okay.
waiting to get through that process and then move forward with Pleasant Valley.
Because from my perspective, I think Pleasant Valley offers us the best opportunity to
Yes.
improve the
Yeah,
the
and I know that
recreation.
public recreation, it's my understanding that that's going to be part of the project there also. That will be part of the requirements of the developer, is to have some, either have something on site or provide funding that could be used at a different site.
That's really encouraging. And I understand there, oh, I know, it was in the letter that we received, saying that the Trident project that is in the site of the Sealy School
Yes.
is retroactively adding some open space and I guess a playground. I haven't
Yes,
seen any official word on that.
right. And that was part of the agreement, was that there would be a playground and it would be available to the public. Whoops. I think we lost Mike. Assuming that's Mike.
Mark, what do you need from the commission to go back to the town council on their referral?
That's a great question, Elizabeth. Maybe it's a motion to accept or support the findings of, the Barry Dunn for District 4.
And that'd be a starting point.
Yes, yeah.
So, sorry, I cut off, my phone died, I had to plug it back in. So, a lot of good discussion I heard. So, is there an existing park in there that you guys are trying to, like, make better? Mark, you said something about 100K. Can you just fill me in? I kind of lost after you said the 100K. What was that?
Oh, sure. So that is Wynwood Passage. And we put proposed $100,000 in the capital improvement plan for FYE 26. And with that money, we would, there's currently no sign indicating that it's a town park, and it's located between two homes, and the park is below street level, so it's difficult to see. I mean, it would be easy to drive by and not even notice it or make the assumption that it's actually, one of the property owners' park. So we would put a sign. We'd also install a gravel path that would go down to the playground. We'd replace some of the existing equipment, put in a picnic bench and a couple of other smaller pieces of equipment. And also put in some screening between the two houses just to give those two residents a little bit more privacy.
And is that an active park today, or is that a park that's like the last? I remember we looked at a long time ago. There was a park that was run. It really wasn't. No one was using. Is this a park people are using? Is this a new spot for a park?
No, this is a park that, an existing park.
Okay, I'm good then. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Mike, I'd like to make the motion that we endorse the District 4 Park Assessment prepared by Barry Dunn.
Okay, yeah, I'll second the motion. It made sense what they had in that for it. It was good findings. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So I think the next thing here was going to the Mark, there was a section 4 and a town council referral on the bottom one. Are they the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. So I think the question then that I had, so like the POCD is next. So kind of background is I put together and I sent it out midday today. I tried to use my like pro editor, but it didn't work. I was gonna try to put it in the format. So so I tried to put it together, but it didn't work. So I put it in the Word document. Basically, I took kind of the feedback I got from the commissioners, put it into the 4 sections, tried to combine them. My plan was to submit those 4 to and I can't remember the person's name I got to send them to, but I was going to send them those 4 bits over there. So we'll start there, and I think we should talk about the actions at the end. But let's start with the 4 questions. I don't have it open in front of me, but and again, I did send it out late today. But is there any comments or questions on that, or anything that I didn't capture or that I captured wrong? And if people need a minute to look at it, that's okay too.
Yeah, I just need a minute. I got them a little while ago.
Yeah, so just take a couple minutes, and I'll let you two guys chime in. We'll go just focus on the 4 questions. We'll go through those, and then we'll talk about the actions afterwards as a team. But let's just stick with the 4 questions for now.
It looks good to me, Mike.
Just a nit on the second one, Mike. The second to the last bulleted item. Having been driving the commission to make more quantitative decisions, I think there's an S there.
And this is on the second question you're talking about?
Yeah,
Okay, I'll take a peek at that.
you take a look at that. And then on the 4th one, I think. Yeah, for the first bullet under 4, it says all CIP should have ratings on them for all town areas. not sure. It says they system. I think you meant not sure the system.
Yeah, I'll change base to best.
Yeah,
I'll make those
yeah,
notes right now.
That's all I got.
So Mike, do you want to have a commission vote on this? Because you're gonna have to submit it on our behalf.
Yeah, I think that's good, but what I would almost say is let's go through the sorry, we're kind of me and my wife swapped because we usually do swim. I usually take my daughter, so we're starting at the train station now. I'm gonna pick them up afterwards. So what I would say we do is let's go let's through the actions. I think we should provide an update from the last report to them on the actions. And then I think we do a vote of, hey, we sent that in. So the last page was the action ones, and you did a good cut, Elizabeth, at, trying to take a cut at answering some. But I think we should just go over them as a commission, see where we thought we were. And Mark, you can weigh in, and then I think we submit them the whole thing. And we vote on to submit them. So really, and I'll try to go through these and we can just kind of burn through them. So these were ones that I found in the 2016 POCD. I don't really know if we owe an update, but I thought, hey, let's just make it all inclusive, right? Rather than them coming back to us in the future, they have all the info to do it. So I'll just read through them. It was the last page. The green is what kind of Elizabeth, you had indicated some to me, and then some of my own take. So kind of both, but I think some of these are left blank. I think we need to make sure we come to agreement. And I'll just read them as the numbers, the 2-4- so 2-7. It seems like we completed that, and that is an action that is completed and done. Is that a good assessment from everyone? And
Yes,
Yeah,
I think so.
the next one, the Groton master plan. I know you put ongoing, Elizabeth. I feel like we completed that. I feel like there was a master plan study done since this last report went out, and then it's ongoing to implement it. Is that a true statement?
Yes, that's correct.
And
The
when,
Recreation Master Plan was updated in 2023.
so I'm going to kind of put complete in 2023, ongoing to implement. I think that's true, right, Mark?
Mike, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I'm getting confused. 212 is the bicycle pedestrian trail master plan. Isn't that what you were talking about?
Yeah. So I think to me, 212 and 410 are almost the same thing, to be honest with you. But I think what I heard is that there was a plan done in 2023, and then slowly we're taking the recommendations from that plan to move to implement. That's what I was going to put in the write-up if everyone is good with that and if that's true.
Well, the Parks and Recreation Master Plan is 2023, and that's item 2-13.
I think that's a separate thing, though, isn't it? Mark, wasn't there a Parks and Recs master plan and a bike one? Weren't they two separate reports or things? Or am I thinking wrong?
No, it's two separate reports. The Bike and
Okay.
Pedestrian Master Plan is not quite complete.
Yeah.
And then there was also the Parks and Recreation Master Plan, which was started in 2022 and completed in 2023.
Okay, so so on 2-12, that was completed in 2023, the bike master plan, correct?
Yes. Oh, no, not the Bike and Pedestrian Master Plan. That's still
So-
not complete. The completed
And-
date for that would be 2025.
Okay, got it. Okay, ongoing 2025. Okay, I will change that. Sorry. And then what you're saying, Elizabeth, is the 2020, the 213 one that was done in 2023, and we're ongoing to implement that. I think that's what you're saying. Is that?
Yes.
Is that?
Yes.
Now I understand. Thank you. Sorry, I got it. Perfect. Thanks, Al. 214. I don't even know if this is a Parks and Rec thing. So help me out.
Mike, for whatever reason, when I open this, I don't have numbers next to the items. So all I have is like a circle. So is 214 the community tree management plan?
No, it's support implementation of the Thames Heritage Water Park.
Oh, yeah. I must be in the wrong section.
I think it's the last page of the one I sent out.
Oh,
I
okay.
have a hard copy printed out, so sorry, I'm not again on my computer, but normally I am.
Oh, here we go. Okay. I'm with you now. Okay. All right. So support the inflammation. Yeah, so a couple of years ago, the department was providing transportation down to the water taxi, but we haven't done that in a couple of years. And I think we were only doing it for special events or for a short season. So I don't know how much. I don't know how much we're involved with that at this point. I would have to check on that one.
To me, it almost sounds like it was something back in that time, but it's become OBE now, not really a Parks and Rec function anymore. It's kind of how I'd summarize it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I would say that is correct.
I was thinking that the continuing work on the trails and the pedestrian path, does that help connect to the water taxi?
I would have to pull out the map to see where the recommended improvements, either sidewalk or street, are. I don't. I can't remember at this point whether that's whether there's an immediate connection to the Thames Heritage Park.
So that's an open one.
All right. So 219 then. I think that's what you were kind of asking about, almost leading to the 214 kind of links in with 219 in a manner of speaking. So if you want to let us know, maybe Mark on 214, when you do some lookup, if there's some interconnectivity, that's fine. I know you don't have it on your fingertips, and you're not going to have it maybe the next couple minutes. That's fine.
Okay. Yeah, and I would also say that 219 connects with 212 because the updating the bike and pedestrian master plan would include improving public access locations.
So it's kind of, they're almost the same. The action on the study that's done next year will do both, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. Number 220. I don't remember ever having this action or needing it or taking it or so. I don't even know if my personal take is I don't really know if there's really a problem for needing to do this, but I guess I don't know the history, so maybe someone fills me in. Do we need to do this? Is there a plan? Is this OBE?
Yeah, we have not had any kind of discussion about developing a master plan for Esker Point Beach and Park.
Does anyone feel there, Mark or the commissioners, do any of you feel there's a need to? I personally don't, but I want to get everyone's take. And if you know any history, Mark, of why this was here, that would be helpful.
Yeah, I don't know why that's in there.
I think we should just say that the commission doesn't recognize a need for that. I mean, the department has been doing improvements along Esker Point Beach and Park all along.
Unless it was
Right.
maybe the picnic area. Couldn't have been the beach because they just did all that with the volleyball and all that stuff.
And the bathroom have been
Yeah.
renovated.
Yeah, the bathrooms have been renovated. I mean, we have started replacing some of the trees in the picnic area, just kind of like succession planning because a lot of the
Yeah.
trees are getting more mature and, are kind of on declining in health. So
Yep.
we have started planting new trees. We have also added the beach grass to kind of protect. We've expanded the existing beach grass to further protect the beach. We are across the street in the large parking lot. We Connecticut. Oh boy.
Oh, yeah, that whole thing with the flooding and all that stuff.
Yeah, so they're going to be the Connecticut Nature Conservancy
Right.
got a $700,000 grant to do some work down there at the big parking lot across the street and to make some improvements
Yeah.
improvements on that side. So there are projects going on an as need basis and as opportunities present themselves.
Yeah, that makes sense. So I think I'm going to put down, kind of like you said, Liv, if the council doesn't recognize the need for this, there is a bunch of projects that have been completed and more that are ongoing to improve that area at this time. Something to that
Yeah.
nature.
Right.
Hmm.
410. So I think we talked 410 and 212, so they're the same. I'm going to skip it unless anyone
Yes.
had additional comments. 416. So I had put some verbiage here. We can change that verbiage. But Mark, I remember you saying that if the pool study did not get approved this year, we were not going to be pursuing it anymore. So is that the verbiage you want in there, or do we prefer a different verbiage?
That is what I said. This would be the third year in a row that I had asked for funding to do a feasibility study. And for the last 2 years, it hasn't been supported. And if it happens this year, my intention is not to put it into the following year request. They're talking about, well, a community center rec complex that includes a pool, fitness center, and gym. We have what we're calling a community center in the old Fitch Middle School building. There are ongoing proposed capital improvement projects to make some improvements to that building. So far they've been somewhat limited, but we continue to try to improve that building as best we can.
When was the last time, Mark, that the town funded a large complex, Parks and Rec? Probably the senior center, right?
Yeah, you broke up a little, Jim, but yeah, the last time that a large project was funded was the senior center, which was put in, I think, in 2011.
Yeah, that's a long time.
Yeah, and we would like to. The staff in Spicer House would like to move into the community center. Just operationally, it just makes more sense for the staff to be where 70% of the programs are being run.
Yeah.
But we've there's been other needs in the community that are a higher priority, and we continue to try to do that. We would like to build out the old auditorium and open that space up for concerts and for theater productions, and we've had interest from the Groton Regional Theaters and from the Noank Mystic Band to use that space. And so there's been a lot of talk about opening that space up, but to date nothing has happened.
Yeah.
I think I'm just going to put something like Fitch community center established in Old Fitch High School. there's ongoing renovations to that property. And then there's the pool feasibility has been proposed over the last couple of years. If not funded, it'll probably be something that takes a back burner for the time being, or something of that nature. Does that make sense for a kind of summary response for that one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right. 417 additional athletic fields. So this I was going to put basically, Mark, it was an official study, the athletic fields for Kent for us, correct?
Yes, they have done a couple of studies. They've updated the study that was done, I think, in 2000 and boy, 2000 and well, I actually don't remember. 2018 maybe was one of their initial studies, and then after the middle school was put in on that property at the top of the hill, they updated the facts and figures and have also been in touch with, as I mentioned earlier, the sports administrators, youth sports administrators, to pull together the information as part of the athletic fields task force proposal that's gone to the council and to the Board of Ed.
All right. So I think I'm just basically going to put, hey, there's a study, and like study. I think the field's needs have been identified over 3 properties, and now the town is figuring out how to fund or make them reality type thing.
Yes. Yep.
And the last one, the 418. Elizabeth, you kind of put this answer down. Does that make sense to everyone? Is everyone good with that last one, 418?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what their definition of downtown is,
Yeah,
Find that.
but they are, well, as everybody knows, we'll be making renovations to Sutton Park, and we're also working on a plan to replace the playground at Terra Centennial.
Right.
So, if they're talking about that part of town as downtown, then yes, I would say those are the updates to that area.
I think since this last POCD was done, the whole complex at Aquatic Plains Park was developed.
No, that Aquatic Plains Park has been there since prior to 2016.
Oh, it's that long? Wow.
Oh yeah, that's been there. Well,
25 years.
yeah, quite
Well,
a
yeah, but it was as
that
a
goes
kind of
back
an
quite a while.
undeveloped space. Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, it was just an open field then.
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
They used to have like I think a carnival would come to town.
Every year.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved it.
It was
They'd bring
fun.
elephants in. It was great.
Yeah, yeah,
Poor elephants.
yeah.
All right. So I think I got some notes here. I'll type up for this. Do you want to vote? I think Liz, you're going to propose a vote or something like that. So I'll let you take it away for what you were thinking.
Well, I assumed that you needed to have, before you could submit something back, that you would have to have a vote from the commission. So I don't know if you want to have some time to edit and organize this as seems right, and bring it back then for a vote to another meeting.
I can do that if you want. I think the 4 where it sounds like we're good, I'll take what I thought were the answers from today's, put them in, and then I'll send it to Mark. He can put it as part of the next package, and then we can vote next time to, say that it represents us as a commission to send it in. Does that make sense?
It does to me, yeah.
Yeah, I think I think that the other commissioners need to kind of see the full answer.
I'm good with that.
Yeah.
All right, I think that was the last thing on the agenda, unless anyone else had anything.
No, the last item is the golf course operational analysis, action items.
Right. I'll let you take it away, Mark.
Okay, so I included in the packet the 7 items, action items that Mike, you had identified. I did go in and make some changes. So the first one is build a player member database, and I added an update and comments column to that sheet, and I said see action item 3, and which is investigate capabilities of the current system, and look at other systems. Well, the council has made it pretty clear that they want a new system now. So we have interviewed 4 different course management systems. There's been emails back and forth with additional questions, trying to further refine and understand the capabilities of the system. And we've got it down to 2, and we'll be making a decision by Friday. I've actually got one more question that came up today, meeting with Todd and Eric, that I need to send out to both.
Mark,
and-
does that system replace Chelsea?
Yes, it will.
Okay, all right.
Yep. And so action item 1 is part of implementing a new system will be, updating the database. And so action item 1 is kind of being addressed through action item 3. And action item number 2 was implement online booking and cancellation fee 24 hours for no-show. That's also going to be part of the new software. That was one of the requirements of the new software, is that they have that capability. So that action item is being addressed. Number 3, we just talked about that. Action item number 4, define fringe benefit course employees receive from town and decide to pursue asking town for those funds. Yeah, that's something that I'll have to start working on. And action item 5, revamp website and make it its own site. That actually is one of the services provided by both golf course systems that we're looking at. So that would be addressed as we implement the new system. Lay out true priorities need for projects on course, taking into account revenue trends in CYE 23 to 25. That was Mike and somebody from the GAB. So I don't know, Mike, if you still want to do that, and we can, maybe I could bring that up at the next GAB meeting to see if someone's interested in working with you on that.
I'm okay with that, Mark. However you think the best way is, I'm here to support. If you want, I'm glad to help or lead, or if the GAB takes lead, let me know how I can help. I guess I'm here.
Okay. And then the last one was define driving range, should pursue, and return on investment. And I think, Mike, you had assigned that to Jim and
Oh, really,
somebody.
me?
What's
Okay.
that?
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
I
Yeah,
didn't
Jim,
do that. This was
I
something
don't
that
know if we
Mike
want
had
to do
done.
that. that was a take of, hey, do you want to take that on? You could say no. It wasn't we never got to the definitive who owns the stuff.
No, I don't want to take
Yes.
it on by
So
myself.
at,
Nope.
at this point, that hasn't been assigned anybody, and there's no dates either.
Yeah, I don't know if we think that's something that we should. So I guess where my head goes, right? Even if you kind of strip down bare bones, like that they made this nice lavish driving range they proposed, right? They gave you the creme de la creme, if you ask me, in the report. Which I mean, it's always good to start dreaming high, right? But if you whittle some down, it still seems like it would be a little bit of a payback period. So I I don't even know if we, knowing all the other projects the golf course has, understand that it does have an ROI, but it's a tough, I don't know, thinking tough pill for me to swallow because it's even if it was a 3-year ROI, it probably makes sense to do. But there's so many other big things like the irrigation system that need to be done on the golf course prior that it's almost like we should do it, but we probably don't have the funds to do it, even though it makes sense right now.
It makes sense to keep it as a future project to pursue, but not schedule it for any time in the near future.
And that's kind of where my head's at. I mean, other commissioners and Mark, you can weigh in.
Yeah, I think there are other priorities, but the fact that this, according to the study that was done, could generate revenue does support the fact that we shouldn't just scrap the idea completely.
Mm.
I agree. I think Elizabeth's statement sums it up correctly, in my opinion.
Okay.
So since this is an action plan, do we need to have a commission vote on it?
I don't know. I mean, I heard, Mark, that a bunch of items are going to be combined based upon the new system. So I don't know if we vote on it. I don't know if we really take tally of it or if it's just stuff that we all agree we're going to go do. So I don't know the right way to proceed here. I guess I'll turn it over to someone who can maybe know better than me. And if we vote, that's okay too.
Well, I guess I just see it as a formal endorsement of the action items, so we don't lose track of them.
Yeah, I would agree with Elizabeth.
So I'd be happy to make a motion that we endorse the action plan for the golf course as presented tonight and discussed.
Sure. I'll second that.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
I. All right. Was that the last item on the agenda then?
It is, yes.
So next month, Elizabeth, you said, I think next month we're supposed to be in person. Is that correct, Mark?
Yeah, so it was going to be kind of a hybrid at Spicer House. It would be an opportunity to meet some of the new staff. I know Elizabeth is away, so we don't have a quorum.
So I guess I'm open for two things. One, we could say we still have it to meet the staff, or two, I mean, I am very amendable to change if we think that as a commission we should change the date. I don't know what's in the quote unquote legal area. It's legal to change or not, but I am not opposed if we wanted to say let's change the date. I am okay with that personally. So floor is open.
Yeah, Elizabeth, this is an extended trip for you, correct?
It is.
Okay, and I don't know if you want to be saying on public when you're going and when you're coming back, but the following month, the May meeting is the 28th. And
Well, I will be back by then.
you would be back by then.
I would be back.
Okay. All right.
I guess we'll leave it as if you propose a different date in April that would work for you, Elizabeth, so you don't have to on the recording say when you're gone and from and to, or you just say, hey, I'd rather skip the April one, that's fine.
Yeah, because when I get back from my trip is going to be right on the heels of the Club 55 flea market, which is an all hands on deck event. So it really has to be later in May.
Okay. So, all right. So another time in April probably isn't going to work, it sounds like.
Not for me,
So,
no.
okay. So, I mean, we could not have the meeting. I have not heard anything about the two applicants that have applied for the position. I know the process, well, you all remember it takes quite a while. And it has been quite a while. And I could get an email tomorrow that, we've got two new members. So if that was the case, that could change things and we would be able to have an April meeting. So let me try to find out where we are in the process before we make a decision. And with onboarding the two new commission members. And then I can just reach out to Michael and you can make the decision whether we cancel that meeting and, schedule move the in-person to May, when the staff, to meet the new staff.
Yeah, I'm fine. I mean, my
Okay.
gut check for everyone would be is, Mark, I don't think we need to make a decision. We still got a month, right, to decide. But where my
Yeah.
head's at is like 2 weeks prior. If we haven't heard anything from them, I'm okay with saying we cancel that one, move to May, and then have the May be the in-person one at Spicer House. Does that make sense for everyone on the commission?
So we wouldn't have an April meeting?
Potentially, if that's what the decision is.
Well, I only ask are we gonna get a chance to look at the Parks and Rec budget, Mark? I don't know where that is in the process.
That's getting presented to the council on Monday night.
No. No. Okay.
Jim, would you rather have a virtual April meeting then and just move the in-person one to May?
Yeah, I'm fine with that, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay.
that'll be the tentative plan then, Mark, and we'll see, what happens to new commission members, but maybe we'll just say that we move the in-person one to May. We'll make the decision 2 weeks prior, but that'll probably be what I'll propose then. We move the in-person one to May, and then we just have an informal meeting at Jim's request. I think I'm okay with that virtually.
Okay.
Then again, we'll make that decision 2 weeks prior, but that would probably be what my gut's telling me. And then it sounds like you can do the May one, Elizabeth. That was good timing for you, I think you said.
I'll be fine with the May meeting.
Mark, can you send me the budget that you're presenting to the town council?
Sure.
Yeah, thanks. Maybe I'll follow along the meeting. You know what time that meeting, so the meeting is gonna be, let's see.
It's Monday night. I think it may start at 6.
So that's
And
Monday night, the 30th?
yes,
31st.
or whatever next Monday,
31st,
whatever
yeah.
Monday night is. And we are last on the agenda.
Really?
Bring your
Okay.
sleep bag.
Well, Jim can go in his jammies. It doesn't matter.
That's right. Yeah.
And what do you guys do at curious those meetings? Like, do you just present it, Mark, or do they like shoot holes and you guys actually when you leave, do they actually say here's the budget, blessed in stone?
Yes. So, yes to all of 3 of those things. So I will present the budget to the council. The council will ask questions and they may or may not make a motion to recommend a different number. or they may support the number as presented. And then it goes to the RTM, and the RTM does the same thing. Well, it actually goes, there's a Parks and Recreation RTM subcommittee. So we make the budget presentation to them. The chair of that subcommittee will make a presentation to the full RTM. There may be a series of questions, and then the RTM will vote to either support the presented budget or make a recommendation to change the budget. And they can't add money, they can only take away.
But the council can add money, right?
No, I don't think the council can add money.
Oh, really? Okay, I misunderstood
Yeah.
that part of the process.
Got it. So they really just approve the end figure number, but I'm sure they look at like what makes the end figure number up, and that's what it sounds like they do in that meeting.
Yeah, they'll ask generally they'll ask a series of questions. And there's actually 3 budgets that get presented. So the Shanticosset budget, and then the special revenue budget, which is funded entirely through program fees, and then there's the general fund budget, which is supported through tax dollars.
Thanks. And I assume, Mark, the fields, like I know what they were talking about putting, like, doing a portion of them like in the budget or something. I assume that would go in the Parks and Rec budget, or does that go in the school budget out of curiosity?
That would be separate from both Parks and Recreation and the school.
So that's a separate line item they would vote on?
Yeah, actually, I don't even think that would be part of the whole budget presentation by any department, because if they decide to move forward with funding this through a bond, that would be completely separate than that would just be completely separate from the whole FYE 26 budget discussion.
Yeah, so even the limited one they're talking about would still be through a bond. It wouldn't come from any budget discussion. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes, that's correct.
Got it. Okay, good to know. Thanks. Yeah, because to me, I don't know. I mean, I have my personal thought on that is that if we're going to go bonded and do us, why are we going to try to do it quote unquote half-ass? Why don't we just do the whole thing? If we're going to pay for it, let's pay for it right. If we figured out a way to pay for it out of the town's budget, understand that's a lot of money, right? Probably you'd have to cut something totally out of it. Okay, but if that made sense, but if not, like let's not like piecemeal it if we're going to wind up paying for it anyway. But
Right.
personal take. So.
Yep.
All right, it sounds like we're good. Does anyone have anything they want to talk about before we make a motion to adjourn?
Nope,
Aye.
nope.
All right, enjoy all the nice weather coming up, guys, and I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Elizabeth, have a
night all.
safe trip.
Thank you very much.
All right. Take care. Good night.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.